All right, all right, all right. Welcome back. How you feel, man?
Man, I feel decent, man.
Feel
We just
decent?
got the news about Chadwick Boseman's passing, so
Yeah,
that's
that was.
cutting pretty deep, man. You know, off other non-celebrity deaths, cutting deep, but we gonna make it through, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about, perseverance.
Okay. How you been? Besides, for the week, man. It's been a little while. They ain't seen our faces in a little bit.
Man, it's been a minute, man. I actually deleted an episode, so there's that.
When we
But
had the other episode get chopped up badly.
horribly. But um, but nah, man, I've been pretty good, man. I just been working as usual, uh, clocking in overtime on overtime for real. So just been trying to, you know, what I'm saying, stay out the way, do my thing, come back home, do my thing again. You feel me?
I feel that, man. I'm in it's the same boat.
For
Man,
sure.
rest in peace to a legend, man. But
Facts,
all
man.
right, look, your boy been reading. You feel me?
What's that? The Five Bloods,
No, it's not the
or
Five
just
Bloods.
just Bloods, just
It's
Bloods.
just Bloods. All right. So the whole book's about Black Vietnam vets telling their story in their own words. And when I say in their own words, I truly mean it. They
Have you
didn't
seen
take.
the Five Bloods?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so do you feel like any of that stuff in that book was put into the movie, or because at the beginning of the movie, you know, they had a lot of different references about things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that like a lot of the stuff in the movie from what I've read in this book so far is like legit, man. They honestly Vietnam was just kind of like, hey, we just want to kill white people, and we kind of got roped into it protecting the country. I should probably cool off, huh? Let me stop.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna get him, man. You been hating. Ooh,
I'm not hating, bro. It's all about perseverance, man. You just gotta
I'm gonna
keep
be wait.
rushing.
Hey, I got to actually. You know what? I'm way off topic. Random question. What? Give me an irrational fear that you have. Not fear, but like something that scares you, a thought that scares you.
Crickets,
Cricket.
camel crickets in particular, the big
Why?
ones. I have
I'm
no
not
idea.
mad at that, man. The things is
They're very ugly. They jump very
high
aggressively.
bunnies.
Yeah, no, they're scary for real. Anytime I see one, I usually run in the opposite direction, clothed or unclothed.
All right. I was thinking about this today. I was washing my face in the shower with, warm, lukewarm water, as you're supposed to, if y'all ain't know that. So I'm washing my face in the shower, and I just think, here I am with my eyes closed, so my face wash don't get in my eyes. What if I just open and somebody just in the shower with me randomly? Like that scares the heck. Like not necessarily in the shower, but if I'm just sitting here doing this and I open my eyes and somebody's like already pulled the curtain back and they're just looking at me like this. Nah, I think about that every time, and I will open my eyes with some soap in it just to be like,
Nah, I will say I won't do that for real. Like I'd rather get murdered in the shower than open my eyes and get soap in my eyes. That's a last resort for sure. Like that's like Ray Charles type shit. Like once it's in
Hey,
my
Rachel is dope.
curtains.
I just watched that movie, man. Wow. Jamie went crazy.
Jamie Foxx is better than Denzel. Bashing the statement of the week. We're getting it out the way first.
Can I go ahead and get mine out the way?
Yeah.
You already know what I'm bringing to the table.
No, I don't for real.
Are we gonna act like we didn't shoot that? All right, cool. Yeah, man, you ain't ready for this. This is about to blow your mind. Oh.
Is it the
All right.
Mary J. Blige one?
Yes, it is. So my blasphemous statement of the week is "Family Affair" by Mary J. Blige. Is an awful, awful song. I have it pulled up here. I'll run it. We do not own the rights to any of this music, Auntie Mary. This is "Family Affair." For those that don't, can you hear it? Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and
Classic
skip to the
song. Don't need no hateration.
Here we go.
Toleration.
All right, this is "Family Affair." This is the bad part. I'm gonna stop there. Uh,
Jamie.
I I got. Let me go ahead and pull up. I'll pull up my Cash App right now. What if you can tell me where in Webster they speak on holleration or hateration, and I'll Cash App you right now. What? Don't need no hateration, holleration. What? In this dancery? Al Capone went to danceries.
So,
John D. Rockefeller went to danceries.
so holleration is an excessive amount of yelling or loud talking, which is usually the result of a fight, stabbing, killing, or some other physical altercation. And then hateration is look up hateration.
Hateration. If hateration's a word, we'll go ahead and end this right now. In this dancery, and then she said, "Let's get it percolating," which I like. That's my favorite line.
Hateration is intense negative emotion and energy directed out at others or inward to herself. Urban Dictionary.
We'll talk afterwards.
It's Urban Dictionary though, so it's not Webster. But
man, no, you didn't even know. Oh, if you wouldn't have said nothing, I would have been a man of my word and cash out you.
Shouldn't have said nothing.
You probably shouldn't have.
But what's the episode this week, man? What are we talking about?
What are we talking about for the week? Welcome to episode 3.
It says 3 technically, ain't it? Yeah.
Technically 3. Yep.
This is like 5 for us, but I delete them weekly, so.
It wasn't just you. It's a team effort. You, but it's us. It's one podcast. One sound. This week we're going to talk about the NBA bubble. It's a lot going on. It's a major thing. We're both huge basketball fans. I'm a Laker fan. He's a LeBron fan. It's a difference.
I'm a LeBron fan of the Lakers.
Yeah. Anyway, like it's a lot going on right now, man. And just kind of to start it off, basketball is getting in this groove, and sadly we had another tragedy, another tragedy. And it's like, I understand. As much as I want to see basketball right now, because trust me, I do. I completely understand, man. This it's got to stop. And we got to get to a point like, I don't get it.
At some point in time, we just have to hold people accountable for their actions. What it's turned into, from my perspective personally, it's turned into, if you join the police force, you have a free license to kill. Period, point blank discussion. And we oftentimes say, well, these are isolated events. They're not universal. It's not across the board here in America. But honestly, talk with some police officers. I'm not going to throw no names out because, as the Black community, we have unified on not snitching. Therefore, I will not snitch. But you would be surprised about how many of these police officers that are protecting your neighborhood are ready to shoot and kill rather than detain and arrest. It's crazy. So far this year, we've had, I believe, last number I checked was 700, and I think it was either 35 or 53, one of the two. But nonetheless, 700 plus people have been killed by police officers. Not just Black people. 700 people total this year have been killed by police officers in 236 days. There's a problem with that. It doesn't have to be black or white. We can break it down to Black people, and Black people, we are killed a lot more than white people, but than anybody per capita. We're killed at the highest rate by police officers, unarmed at that. And what was this? Kyrie Irving spoke on wanting to not play this year, wanting to sit out the bubble, along with Avery Bradley and a few other players who they had their discussion. Kyrie Irving's if I remember correctly, he's the vice president of the NBA NBA Player Association or whatever. So what was the most recent killing? Shooting, I should say, because he didn't die. But what was the most recent shooting?
James Blake, Wisconsin.
Yeah. So Jacob Blake was killed. He was shot 7 times in the back. He didn't die, but he was shot in Kenosha, Wisconsin, which is what did they say, about 20 miles outside of Milwaukee, which led to George Hill being the spiritual leader, as the term that's been coined by a lot of analysts. He's been the spiritual leader of the team, and he basically, not just him, obviously, because if it's just him, at some point in time, one of the best players on the planet will step up in Giannis Antetokounmpo and say, "Hey, we're going to play." Like, I don't agree with it, but we're going to play. But they were able to come to an agreement that, hey, we're going to sit out. So that's what happened. That's what kind of led this going on. And what are your initial feelings on that?
Initial feelings, I thought it was a great idea. Sit out. That way we can make a couple changes. And they did. They made the changes. Let me pull them up because I believe that they came to an agreement with the NBA, which Adam Silver, man,
gotta applaud him for real.
Never misses. He handles everything with such grace and class. So as of right now, looks like some of the commitments between the NBA and the National Basketball Players Association, they're going to establish a social justice coalition featuring reps from players, coaches, and governors. That's big. They're going to convert team arenas into voting locations for 2020 election. That's big. Create advertising spots and playoff games that promote civic engagement in local and national elections. Elections is the theme here, guys. That's another conversation.
It's another conversation, another episode. But one thing I do want to touch on is that oftentimes we focus too much on the presidential election. When you look at the way our government is set up, the president is honestly just like the president, just like the class president at your high school, just in your college. It's just like that. It's really just a figurehead. I mean, granted, in our government, the president does have a lot more power than a college president or whatever the case, like class president, whatever the case may be, right? Cool. But student body president, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, he's just a figurehead. He can't pass laws himself. He can make executive orders, which can get overturned by the Supreme Court if it's viewed as unconstitutional. They can get, at the end of the day, it comes down. It's a 3-branch system. But we focus too much on the presidential election. And is it important to vote for that? Yes. And we've seen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you my political beliefs. I'm not going to smack you in the face with those because at the end of the day, we're going to disagree, and it is what it is. But the biggest thing is hone in, like really focus on your local municipalities and your state government. That's where change is really enacted right there. We oftentimes aim at the stars, and people say if you aim at the stars, you at least land in the clouds, right? It's a Kanye West bar, but
he's nuts.
But at the end of the day, if you aim for the stars, you might mess around and miss both. So really focus in on your local government, really focused in on your city council, tap in with your mayor, because he's going to be the most accessible person. They're going to be the most accessible people out of everybody. It's going to be harder to get in contact with the delegate. I'm blessed to have a strong connection with a couple people within our state government as well as our local government. But you have to really take the time, because I'm telling you, this is the time to do it. Right now, everybody has an open ear to everything because everyone wants to be the first person to change something. So, just tap in. But that's why, in my opinion, that's why the NBA, they're focusing so much on elections, because it's not just registering to vote for president. You want to vote in the new city council to take care of District 16 or whatever district you're in. That's what we're really looking for.
Yeah, for that. Apologies. I said James Blake. I was still thinking of LeBron. Yeah, I caught it as soon as I said it, and I was just like, "You made it happen."
Hey, Braun hit the same thing. Braun called him something different too. But I mean, honestly, and the crazy part is, it's hard to keep up with these names because it's so many.
Man, it's I don't know. There's a lot of things that we got to do different. Number one, like someone just lost a life. Well, not in this case, but in many other cases, people have lost their lives, and y'all try to find a way to justify it, and then it's not okay. Never is it okay. Never. Never is it okay.
Never.
Because everyone's mother, you've heard this. I don't know. Maybe you've heard it in different verbiage. But if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Like, there's people out here grieving. And though we didn't lose anyone personally, we feel for it. because it really could have been one of us in a situation like that. And now I know people say that all the time, but if that's really how it goes.
People don't understand just how realistic it is to happen until it happens to until somebody you care about. I can vouch for this. I don't, I would venture to say if not every black man, I would say 95% of us have had an encounter with the police that was a coin toss away from being a life or death situation. I'm not going to go into detail, but me personally, I was with my cousin and another black man, and it was one of those situations where it could have turned very south very quick. It was literally a coin toss. I mean, I'm talking about I get out the car not thinking that we're the car pulled over, and you guys are quick to say if you comply. You don't know to comply if you don't know that they're talking to you. So it's very quick, and I think it's I've had a lot of discussions on Facebook about this, and the point that we really want people to see is that we're not just sitting there talking about color, because it's deeper than color. I understand that. We all understand that. Granted, like we said before, we are killed at a higher rate than anyone else, but it's deeper than color. All right. You always say, well, this black man was, this guy, I guess, was wanted for his sex, whatever the case. I don't know what it was, to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure it was like a sexual assault or something, but he was wanted for that. George Floyd, it was over a counterfeit $20 bill. Breonna Taylor was sleeping in a house. Nothing was even supposed to happen to her. Sandra Bland, we still don't know what she was arrested for, what she allegedly did. The biggest thing is this government is set off of innocent until proven guilty. So why not bring these people into court and give them a fair trial? Because every man, every woman has a right to a fair trial. We're not getting that. Nowadays, the police are the judge, the jury, and the executioner. And that's the point that you all need to realize. Like, that's the point that's going over so many heads, because you want to focus on, well, he did this, he has a history of that, he has a history of that. There's school shooters right now in jail. Armed and dangerous in jail.
Yo, the dude who did the South Carolina shoot got McDonald's on the way to jail because he was hungry.
He got McDonald's on the way because he was hungry.
It's deeper than color. But at the same time, if you guys don't see the difference at this point, it's because you're trying not to see the difference.
It's willful ignorance.
It's oh my goodness. I'll be really trying to process. I'm like, all right. They just charged a 17-year-old. It's been days. They just charged him. 17-year-old walking with a fully automatic rifle. Fully automatic rifle at 17.
17. Now, you have to be 18 to open carry those. Fun fact. He crossed over state lines with it. Illegal in both states. And it's just kind of like, it took public outcry for that to happen. They gave him water because he was thirsty. Ha-has and high fives for his good work. They're calling him a vigilante. So let's look through. So I'm gonna hit it with this. Let's look through comic book history. Let's look at our vigilantes. Spider-Man, vigilante. Batman, vigilante. Iron Man. All your superheroes are vigilantes. This man is no vigilante. This kid, I'm not even gonna say this man. This kid is no vigilante. This kid is a murderer. There's no way around it. He's a murderer. He's not no vigilante. He's not no guy that was just, he was none of that. He wasn't defending his land. He doesn't own any of that land. He lives, they said 30, 40, he lives across state lines. Like, let's take the mileage out the way. He lives across state lines. He's from a whole different state. This guy comes to this city comes to the city strapped up, ready to start war. And for what? And you guys are trying to justify it. And just to kind of go back to the bubble, which is another reason why we decided to kind of spend this episode on this, is too often times, why does it fall on black athletes to be the only ones to enact change? Black athletes account for less than 1% of total black people. 1%. And if we look at the NBA itself, that's an even smaller fraction, a smaller percentage. Why do they have to be the ones to enact change? Why do they have to be the ones to step up and use their voices? Where are our politicians that we elected to put in office? Where are they at? What are they doing?
They shouldn't be the only ones, for sure. I want to add that in there. But then they are a figurehead. Like, what did Biggie say? You getting out the hood if you sling crack rock or got a wicked jump shot. And it's funny to you hear it, and it's a line. It's a great song, but at the same time, it's like that's something that we kind of grew up seeing.
And people don't understand that. People don't understand. They think like it's such a. Granted, would I love to be a professional football player right now? Oh, of course. But people don't understand just how slim the chances are for anybody to go pro, let alone a black man, black woman coming from. Ideally, look at the numbers. You know, we're more likely to grow up in a single parent household.
And it's crazy because my fault.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
Like we're saying all this to say like they look up to, so they almost have to have a voice. Like they just grew up like us, but with talent, with like unworldly talent. There are very few of them. But at this point, they feel like they have to speak up. Like, and honestly, we kind of force that upon them. We do. They don't have to say anything, but they do because they believe in the cause. Just like we believe in the cause. Then speak up and say something.
It's an unrealistic pressure.
Thank you. Just like speak up and say something. You have your own voice.
Speak up and say something because let's look at it realistically. Black people in society today, persons of color in society today, have to be perfect. There's no way around it. We have to be perfect. You can't have any flaws in your background. You can't have that one tweet that does it all. You can't have that one mistake that you made as a kid that it gets erased and you just get to go through it. We can't have that. We can't have that because that's dirt that is going to get pulled on us regardless. We see it too often times. There's guys, what's his name? Brock Turner, I believe. The swimmer, I think, or something like that, raped a woman and they were like, oh, well, he's an athlete. He shouldn't get that much time. He still has time on his scholarship. And guess what? He got to compete still as a collegiate athlete. Too often times that a black man makes one mistake and that's the end of it. And we have to look at it like this. Look at the value of that mistake and look at the mistake that was made. Was it a mistake of survival or was it just a mistake of, I don't know how to classify this mistake as rape, but there's no good way to classify it. Look at this. We have black guys, we have black kids still they go to college and they're still in food. They're not taking advantage of people. They're trying to survive. And you all looking at it like, oh, these thugs. And then you got these kids out here, these white kids, they have their little thing, and it's like, oh, well, he might have took advantage, maybe he might have raped or sexual assaulted, but it was a mistake, and he won't do it again. No. And slap on the wrist.
That is so unacceptable. That is so unacceptable. And we got to tie this back in the bubble. You know what, man? Can we just speak on this? We wanted to speak on the NBA bubble, but I'm sure we have an NBA episode down the line somewhere. So we're just, y'all know what this is about. Straight up. You hear our words. You see our words. You see it everywhere. We are not the only people saying this. Don't be, make some change. And the sad part is, you can have somebody, say, coworker, non-black coworker. I'm not even going to just specify a race, just non-black coworker. And they're cool with you, but they don't support your people or your movement. Then how much do you really care about me? I be thinking that in my head. It's just like, how can you try to be so cool with me? I'm with them.
Those are my people.
Like, if you're with me, you're with them. Do you rock with me? Yes or no? Because if you do, this is what comes with it.
And that's a big thing. That is a big thing that you said, because some people will say, "Oh, that he's one of the good ones." I know you've heard that before. I know you've heard that before because I've heard that before. He's one of the good ones. Oh yeah, he's not like them other ones. I am. I'm exactly like them other ones. We're all the same. We all can't. Not even to say we're all the same, because everybody has, and that's across the board. Everybody has their own personality, their own people. But we all have some sort of shared experience that links us together as a people, and that's growing up Black in America. I don't care. Don't tell me I'm one of the good ones. I've made mistakes. Don't tell me that, oh, well, he's not like them, because I am like them. I just was fortunate enough to have a different upbringing, a different support system. They don't understand. Instead of looking at it like, oh, well, they're bad and he's good, his parents raised him right, his parents didn't. Look at what his parents had to go through to bring that kid up. Or look at the lack thereof in that. I have a good friend of mine. I'm not going to put his name out. Once again, I'm no face, no case. I'm not putting no names out there. I have a friend whose mom was locked up as much as I can remember growing up. And all he had was his grandma, who was, just wasn't enough at the end of the day. It wasn't a nurturing environment. And people are shocked that, things turned out the way they did for him, versus not honestly realizing, like, this kid never had a fair chance. All he had to rely on was his athleticism. Nobody ever took him in and said, hey, I'm gonna teach you this, I'm gonna teach you that, I'm gonna get you where you need to. Everyone was like, oh, well, this guy's an athlete. Let me ride him to the top. And that's, so miss us with that. He's one of the good ones. No, we're all linked together by being Black in America. Period.
Another thing, I don't know, maybe you heard this. I know I've heard this once or twice. Just because I can speak proper English and may not use slang all the time, don't say I talk white.
We're going to touch on that later.
Like, if we all learn English together.
We all do.
Like, it's not.
Me personally.
Always on my mind. You talk white.
Me personally, I always looked at it like this. I don't talk white. I read the room. That's the biggest thing. I read the room. I know that if I'm in a group of, this type of people, these type of words are going to resonate with them the same time in the room with this type of people. My uncle has a program, Team KRL. I know when I'm talking with them, when I'm interacting with those kids, I understand, hey, let's not use a lot of big words. Let me break things down in layman terms. These kids they're kids, They're going to understand what I'm saying when I give it to them, and I'm not going to give it to them in a lecturing type of talk. It's just going to be, hey, I've been here before. Here's what I personally did, and did it work out right? Did it work out wrong? And that's all it has to be. It's all about reading the room. Like, don't say some people don't feel the need to read the room. They give it to you raw, the way they feel, and that's 100% okay. We shouldn't demonize them. We shouldn't turn them in, hey, these guys are ignorant. Nah, some of the brightest minds are in the hood.
No idea.
People don't understand. Some of the brightest minds are in the hood.
You talk about drive and ambition. Some people's like, oh man, hey, you meet some of the best people out there. Fact. Some of the best, some of the brightest, some of the smartest. There's a gentleman. He's unfortunately, I'll just put out there. He's a crackhead. Man was a Golden Glove boxer. Some stuff went south.
It happens.
And the thing is, I feel like with us, we can lose it at the drop of a hat.
Because that's what the bubble. That's what they're trying to express. All it takes is the drop of a hat for our whole lives to change. It's not just the police killings. It's more than that. It's so much more than that. And just to kind of tie it up, because we're running low on time, but that's what, like Orlando said at the beginning, and I'm a second it. I'm a huge basketball fan. This was the year Bron's supposed to take it easy. We're supposed to be celebrating the championship already. But at the end of the day, these guys have to put their whole career on the lines because we're not protected. We're not looked out as. as our white counterparts are, and it is what it is. And until everybody looks at it like we need a fair chance, we shouldn't judge people on color. And this is across the system. The system, until people realize the system that we're in is flawed to hold people back. You know what I'm saying? Until we can't just change it overnight. Until we decide, hey, let's take this step today. Let's take this step next year. Let's take this step tomorrow. Until we decide that, we're going to keep having instances like this.
It's more than just the system. It's a big combination. Why can't we stand together? I don't understand a certain hype about, oh, every man this and every man, Constitution states certain things, and it's just like, okay, this was written, we weren't even people.
We're 3/5.
3/5.
Barely over half.
I'm overthinking in my head. I'm just be like, so y'all made all this without even counting us as people. Here they are writing it, contradicting at the same time.
It's sick, man. It's sick. So real quick, I'm gonna hit my closing remarks. You can hit yours, but real quick, last thing I'm gonna say is this, man. I stand with the NBA. I stand with the WNBA. I stand with the NFL who cancel practices. I stand with all that to say, I'm supporting the bubble, supporting outside the bubble, supporting everybody who is who's doing their due diligence, trying to make change in today's world. All there is to it. Do I miss basketball? Yes. Am I going to miss basketball? Yeah. I mean, it'll be back Saturday, they say. So I miss it, but we have to do what we have to do. It is what it is.
They canceled it all. I'd be sad, but I would fully understand.
Wouldn't flinch because it is what it is.
And I just got to throw some more leagues in there. Soccer, they're standing heavy.
NHL.
Heavy. NHL standing heavy. If you guys aren't seeing the people that are losing hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars from sitting out and postponing, that the GMs are allowing this to happen, the billionaires are just like, all right, look, this is something that they need to do. We understand. Whether they agree or not, for them, you see how they're silent? You see how they're not saying nothing? Because if they don't have anything to say, they shouldn't say anything at all. Would I like them to speak up? Of course I'd love to see it speak up. I'd love to see, well, I'm sure Robert Kraft's already spoke up. Robert Kraft is that guy. But no, like, all serious. But if you guys do not see how they're coming together, how we're coming together, fighting over an issue that seems to never get better, but we're going to keep on fighting. If you guys don't see that issue, it's all willful ignorance. Simple. It's very simple. My face is getting hot. For real. I'm really hot because there's some things I really, really want to get down to and be straight up about. But I'm coming out just to speak to you all. Just say this is how we feel about certain situations. Coming to our podcast, and not in a way this time. Straight up, we're right, and it's that's
right.
No, in a way,
you're right or you're wrong. There is no in a way we're right today. We are 100% right. If you disagree, leave your comments. We do respond to all comments. If you disagree, you can contact us. We're going to listen to you. We're going to hear you out. You know what I'm saying? We can go back and forth all day until we come to an agreement. I'm 100% down. So thank you guys for tuning in to official episode 3. Official episode 3. We done had about 4 episode 3s, but this is the official episode 3. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're excited to see what you all have to say. If y'all agree with it, share it. Make sure you share all that stuff. Share across all platforms. We have our social media coming up, so please be on the lookout. Thank you guys.